Hello everyone, welcome to the JD Theory. Today I will be assembling my dream card for WrestleMania 42 in Las Vegas 2026. My process for this card is still based in reality. We're not going to be talking about things that could never happen. No, this card is based on matches that are 100% within WWE's reach. These matches would make sense, and they are matches I would love to see, whether that be for performance sake, storyline reasons, or simply because it just makes sense. This is entirely what I believe would be the best card possible, considering the WWE in its current state, and where I can potentially see things going. This is not predictions. As much as I'd love to see these matches, this is what I would do if I was Triple H booking creative. So, I think you all get the idea. I'm booking both nights of Mania, 7 matches on each night. So without further ado, here is my 2026 WrestleMania fantasy booking, starting with my Night 1 opening match, Gunther versus Brock Lesnar. That's right, an absolute clash of titans to open WrestleMania 42. The Beast Incarnate versus the Ring General. I think this would be a huge vote of confidence from WWE if they gave Gunther this spot. And it can even tie in to a lingering storyline with John Cena, Gunther being the last to face him, and Brock being the one who defeated Cena in the most one-sided fashion on his retirement tour. The story beats are there to make this work, and I think the match itself could be very exciting. Brock being super explosive and powerful, and Gunther being extremely calculated and powerful himself, I think if anyone on the roster could get a truly amazing match out of Brock, it would be Gunther. Seeing these two exchange suplexes across the ring sounds like a marvel to me. And as for who I would book to win the match, I'd give it to Gunther. We always see him lose the big match to put over the babyface, but here is a chance for him to get a win. He'd be facing an even bigger heel, who's also a veteran at this point. And if WWE really wants to paint the picture of Gunther being this big, bad, terrifying bad guy, what better way of doing it than have him beat Lesnar? I certainly can't think of a bigger nod. That would make sense at this point in his career. Second on the card, I have the Kabuki Warriors versus Rhea Ripley and Io Sky versus Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss versus Bayley and Lyra Valkyria for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. I'm assuming we put a big ending to this tag team drama on Raw. WWE has been pushing these teams together, but now the stakes are much higher. Belts are on the line, and it's at the grandest stage of them all. In ring, this match will no doubt be a masterclass. We know how strong the chemistry between all 8 of these women are, and it'd be a real treat to see this rivalry close out in one final showdown such as this. I also think this match will have a stipulation. I'm going to go with a ladder match. Seeing each team have to climb for their chance at the belts, it's warranted at this point. I do think this opens the door for a ton of extreme spots, as well as the closing chapter for this whole division revival. I think we could see these teams split up after this, at least most of them, because I would book Lyra and Bayley to walk away with the gold. This would protect everybody involved. We can have Rhea, Io, Charlotte, and Alexa all go back to the singles division. And hell, maybe the Kabuki Warriors and Lyra and Bayley have a run back at Backlash. To me, this is the cleanest way to get the stars back to the main event scene while still giving a surprising win and a big payoff to the story. Next on the card, I have Solo Sikoa versus Uncle Howdy. Now, before you completely disregard the idea of this match, hear me out. We've seen the MFTs and the Wyatt Six beef the whole second half of 2025. What better way to end a faction-wide beef than to have the leaders of it face off in the Showcase of the Immortals? To me, this makes sense. Sometimes I care more about the resolution of a long-term story rather than the quality of the in-ring work, which I do think if both performers are looking to impress, they certainly could put on a match worth caring about. A match like this can also fill the seemingly mandatory interference quota WWE seems to have these days. We can also have outside brawls between Eric Rowan and Tala Tonga, as well as Loomis and Gacy against Tama Tonga and Tongaloa. I also imagine both team members doing stuff behind the referee's back given the chance. And just to be clear, I do imagine the match ends clean, just with a lot of shenanigans. And if I'm booking this, I am having Uncle Howdy win. Yes, as weird as that may seem right now, I think it would absolutely kill Uncle Howdy's character if he were to lose this match. He needs to retain his air of mystery. He must continue to be this overlooming monster-like figure, and he could really only keep that image with a victory. Solo can lose big matches and bounce back. He's got enough charisma and notoriety to recover from this. And maybe this could break up the MFTs. We could see solo runs from JC Mateo and Tala Tonga. On the other hand, the Wyatt Six can continue to lurk from the shadows over on SmackDown. Staying with SmackDown on this next matchup, I have Tiffany Stratton versus Nia Jax to definitively end this rivalry. Yes, we've seen it time and time again in different forms, but we need a definitive conclusion. So to spice this up, I have this as a Las Vegas street fight. That's right, no disqualifications, let this get extreme. These two have enough of a blood feud to justify it. It's literally the same rivalry that elevated Tiffany Stratton to where she is today. And I think she should definitely win here as well. She could defeat Nia with any combinations of weapons to make it convincing. And once she finally slays Nia Jax once and for all, we can reintroduce Tiffany Stratton into the title picture. From the aftermath, and I'm aware many of you watching this may see this match as pointless or maybe even redundant. I get it. But Tiffany needs to be on the card, and I see this as an easy way to finish her story with Nia, a real closing chapter. We also know Tiffany, she could take the heavy bumps based off her physical match against Charlotte Flair last year at Mania, and the matches she had with Cargill and Nia Jax on SmackDown. And though many are not a fan of Nia Jax in ring, I think the street fight stipulation will significantly boost the entertainment value of this match. But this would not be the only David versus Goliath I have booked, because next I have Bronson Reed versus LA Knight. Yeah. After seeing Monday Night Raw's ending with Bronson Reed hitting the tsunami on Knight on top of the car, this is a give me. I can just feel it in the air with this one. The Vision have been most prominently pushed faction of 2025 on the main roster all year, so I think it's time Bronson Reed has his WrestleMania moment. As for LA Knight, he's really been the underdog you want to root for. We've seen WWE mishandle Knight for a long time, and this could be a chance to give the fans what they want. We can see him written off TV leading up to Mania, and when he returns, he wants all the smoke with Reed. This just works, and even having Knight defeating Bronson Reed in this fantasy booking works as well. This could be the start for his true push to the top. Beating somebody like Reed at Mania, it's just a statement. It's a sign of faith, and if WWE gives the fans that faith, I think we could see him with a world title in the future. I'm aware that I'm booking this in a very glass half full way, but I do see this as a strong possibility. Based on how strong LA Knight made Jacob Fatu look last year at Mania, I think he could sell amazing for Reed as well. And Knight winning this match, it won't take away from him selling from Reed. I think this match is mutually beneficial. And maybe, just maybe, it leads to LA Knight versus Braun Breaker for the belt in the future, which I will touch on later. The sixth match I have on this card is Stephanie Vaquer versus Becky Lynch for the Women's World Championship. Yes, I think we get Becky and AJ Lee out of the way at the Royal Rumble. AJ Lee could even win that feud. It doesn't matter because by the time it's WrestleMania season, I think Becky should be aiming for the top prize. I think you could have Becky Lynch win the Women's Elimination Chamber to challenge Vaquer for the belt. And after seeing a glimpse of this dynamic with the recent Nikki Bella rivalry, I think putting Vaquer next to Lynch, it'll boost her notoriety tremendously. Becky can cut the most scathing promos when needed, and Stephanie could take the whole dream big babyface angle like she has. In ring-wise, this match can be an absolute banger, but who would I have winning? It's a tough choice, but I think Becky Lynch should be your new Women's World Champion leaving WrestleMania 42. There's just so much you can do with her. The same way she reigned as Intercontinental Champion in 2025, she can copy and paste that with the world title in 2026, and we'd all eat it up. Becky is doing the best work of her career right now as we speak, so let's keep this train going in 2026. And finally, for my Night 1 main event, I have Braun Breaker against Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Champion. Now, of course, while I'm recording this video, CM Punk is the World Champion, but I see WWE crowning Breaker on the first Raw of the year, January 6th. They treat the first Raw of every year like a pay-per-view caliber event. So that's a justified moment for Breaker's reign to begin. As for Seth Rollins, I see him returning from his injury in time for Mania. The dirt sheets have been saying his recovery is moving at a great pace. Thank God for that. This story is cooked into this feud the second Rollins returns. He was betrayed by Breaker. Breaker has his belt, and he's coming to take back his title and his vision. It's perfect. As for the match itself, Seth's coordination and Braun's pure energy, I think we could have a banger on our hands. Unlikely to be a technical masterpiece, but very likely to be a great time. And if I was booking this, I would have Braun Breaker retain the belt. I think it's a more important statement to make. A definitive win over a returning Seth Rollins is a surefire way of instilling Braun Breaker as the future. We're being told he's the future, and a win at Mania is showing us he's the future. And of course, in my heart, I'd love to see Seth hold the belt again, but I think Braun is the move here. He's got it all, and something he has more than any other main eventer is time. He is young. WWE should capitalize right now. So there we go. Night 1 is complete. Before we get to Night 2, be sure to like, subscribe to the channel. I cover Monday Night Raw every single week, as well as a variety of WWE related videos. So if you like what you're seeing, subscribe. Thank you. Now, we have 7 more matches to book. Let's get right into Night 2, starting with our opening match, Roman Reigns versus CM Punk. That's right. What many people think could be a Night 2 main event, I have it opening the card. Why, you may ask? Well, this match, it makes sense to me. Let's break it down. By the time we get to Mania, I'm assuming Punk has lost the belt, and I don't see the main event having no belt on the line. And as for Roman, although he did hint at going for a title building up to Survivor Series, I just don't think it's time for another Cody versus Roman main event. We've seen that twice, so I'm over it. And if you're not last on the card, the second best placement is first. So that's why I have these two in the opening bout. As for the story here, it's written already. We never touched on Paul Heyman's fallout between these two. Both of them directed their blame at Seth Rollins. But what about the dynamic between Roman and Punk? There is so much untapped potential here. The promos leading up to this match would be great on both ends. In ring, I think this match would be solid as well. I was considering adding an Iron Man stipulation to spice it up, but it feels unnecessary. I think we could do the big spots to open the show and get everybody on their feet. As for who should win this match, that's a tough question. But ultimately, I think it benefits Roman more. And as odd as that sounds, Roman definitely has been booked weaker in 2025. To be fair, he hasn't had many matches to work with, but regardless of scheduling, this would be a huge win for Roman. And if we want to see him hold gold again in 2026, beating Punk creates a very clear path. Whether he goes for the WWE Championship or the World Heavyweight Championship, it will feel deserved. Next up, I have Liv Morgan versus Roxanne Perez. I'm under the assumption that these two will have a nasty fallout over Dominic. Hell, maybe it doesn't even have to be about Dom. It could be over friendship with Raquel Rodriguez. There's a ton of ways to write it, and a match like this would be huge for Roxanne. Just to have a Mania match at this point in her career is massive. As for Liv Morgan, it'll just be another defining moment for her. Because yes, I have Liv Morgan winning this match. It's a great way to establish her comeback and move in a different direction from the Judgment Day. Maybe we see her fall out with the other members from this rivalry and go on to the next chapter of her career. This could also trickle to Dominic versus Finn Balor in the future. Dom blaming Finn for Roxanne being introduced to the Judgment Day and causing a divide. There's a lot of angles you could work with here. Same could be said for my next match, which is the New Day versus the Usos. And not only do I have two legendary tag teams facing off at the grandest stage of them all, I have the New Day defending the World Tag Team Championships. That's right, I am sensing that AJ Styles on his retirement run doesn't want to be stuck with the tag belts all year. Once we see AJ and Dragon Lee drop the belts to the New Day, I have AJ Styles going on a solo run for 2026, which I will get to later on the card. For now, I see the New Day being the best choice for champions going into WrestleMania. Reason being, I'd have the Usos win the titles at the event. Yes, I think we need an overwhelming babyface Uso team at Mania to win. And this rivalry, it can be great. The teams have the history, a decade's worth at this point, and now with the New Day being these arrogant heels, we can get a huge pop from Jay and Jimmy putting an end to their maliciousness. Another thing to address is WWE wanting to test a heel Jey Uso character. We've been getting glimpses of it all summer, and I think with the gold in hand, Jay turning on his brother will be even more impactful. There can be a big fallout with them losing the belts down the road. This just opens up a lot more options for Jay to segue back to the main event scene with a new character in the future. Now, as I mentioned, I think AJ Styles loses his tag team title long before Mania, and I think that his final WrestleMania match, WWE will do something really special and unforgettable. The way I booked his final Mania match would be a fatal four-way. That's right, I think AJ will want as many opponents as possible in 2026. So, I've come up with AJ Styles versus Sami Zayn versus Ilya Dragunov versus Chris Jericho for the United States Championship. Boom. There is some food for thought. Now, if you've been online the last few months, chances are you've heard the swirling rumors of Jericho's return. I'm going to assume he comes back for one final run with the company, and I'm actually booking him coming into this match as the champion. Now, I'd love to see Jericho respond to Ilya Dragunov's open challenge on his return. Also, throwing Sami Zayn in the mix is a give-me. It builds on the previous title holders, and it leads to AJ winning that belt at the end. This match would probably be the highlight of the night, the fan-favorite match. So many beloved stars to throw down in a no DQ environment. It's perfect. And if possible, tell a story between Zayn and Jericho in the match. That would be fun too. Both of them are linked in my mind with Kevin Owens as the connecting piece. Heck, the story doesn't even need to be there for this match to be of a higher level caliber. That's the level we're talking about here with these type of performers. All around, I think it would be absolutely amazing. On the other hand, my next match is completely driven by story, that being Dominic Mysterio versus Rey Mysterio. And not only is this a long-awaited collision of father and son, not only would the AAA Mega Champion be on the line, this would also be Rey Mysterio's retirement match. What better way to end a Hall of Famer 2 times over worthy career than to have your final match be against your own son? It's poetic in a sense. Dirty Dom has been on an absolute tear as Intercontinental Champion and AAA Mega Champion, and nothing would further cement his already legendary heel work than putting his own dad down. This story, it's already there. It's been there the moment Dominic debuted, and for the record, I would have Dominic win this match. It is far more important to give Dominic this accomplishment, and I know damn well Rey Mysterio himself would want it this way. For the 6th match on the card, I have booked Jade Cargill versus Bianca Belair for the WWE Women's Championship. Bianca is due for a big return at the Royal Rumble, and I'm taking her as the winner. She would go on to face her old friend Jade Cargill for the championship at WrestleMania. The whole story is about the fallout with Naomi. It hasn't been fully resolved since Bianca was injured, so I say we pick it right back up. From that first Raw after the Rumble, these two could drop promos all the way till Mania. And once it gets in the ring, I believe Belair can get the best match out of Cargill. They could put on a sleeper classic. Winning this face-off, of course I have Bianca Belair on top. The moment would be huge and it'd be justified. Hell, I'd even book Jade to win the title back at Backlash. I don't think Belair needs to hold the title for a long time. It's more for the WrestleMania moment. I don't think the Mania loss would hurt Jade whatsoever. She's established this new heel character and it's very believable. So yes, I have Bianca leaving Mania as the new WWE Women's Champion in 2026. As for the biggest title of them all, I have booked Cody Rhodes to defend the WWE Undisputed Championship against the Viper himself, Randy Orton. I believe it's mandatory to have Cody in the Night 2 main event. And this match, it's undeniable. And who is the absolute best available option? Randy Orton is without a doubt the biggest story to tell with Rhodes. This can go far back. We all know Cody started in the Legacy. WWE needs to paint the picture for the audience. Cody as this prodigy who found himself at the top of the company, and Randy can play the bitter mentor who's watched Cody's success and he wants it for himself. And there's another story here as well. For Orton, personally, he's currently tied with Triple H for 14 World Championship reigns. So for this match, I've booked Randy as the victor. I believe his 15th reign is due. And the absolute best way to do it is with a heel Randy Orton at WrestleMania 42. I even have this fun idea of Triple H-led authority team coming for Orton for breaking his record. It could be a plotline that runs through the rest of the year. And it's been a while since we've had the corporation reform, so what better time than now? As for Cody, this gives him another chance to chase, another chance to get a higher quantity of title reigns in the future. We've had so many long title reigns coming off the back of Roman, so maybe some belt hot potato could work. And I don't even mean between Cody and Randy. I think the belt could fly around to different people before finding its way back to Rhodes. Cody cemented himself in WWE history these last few years. and taking a few months apart from the belt while others step up, it won't hurt his legacy. It's the best story WWE can tell in 2026, and they've been holding this ace in their hand for a long time. So I'd say, at Vegas, play the cards. At least I would. Because this has been my WrestleMania 42 fantasy booking. What did you think about my ideas for this upcoming WrestleMania? Are these matches you'd like to see? Do they hit the perfect balance of being entertaining and making sense? Let me know down below in the comments what you think WWE should do and what they will do and what you wish they could do or will do at the Showcase of the Immortals. Once again, we arrive in Mania season and the card is confirmed. I will give you my official predictions. As for the next few months, expect weekly coverage of Monday Night Raw, as well as predictions and grading videos for each premium live event that comes out. I'll also talk about music often and sometimes more varied content like food, comics, horror movies, whatever comes to mind. Once again, feel free to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. The support means a lot. The current goal is getting to 100 subscribers. For those of you subscribed, thank you, and I'll see you on the next video. And for everybody, have a wonderful day, and bye-bye.